Hi, this is GS from UOOE.org, University of Online Education. Today we are going to discuss very important topic in PHP is conditional statement. This conditional statements is important not only in PHP, it is also important in JavaScript. We discussed about conditional statements in JavaScript also, even .NET or any Java, any programming language. These conditional statements are very important. So the title is, today I just give an introduction to the conditional statements, and I will define what are the types of conditional statements are there, and I will define the structure of the conditional statements in this session. So title is conditional statements. So I'm going to save this file as creating new folder called conditional. File name is statement. Okay, I saved my file. So what is conditional statement means? The conditional statements are used to perform different action based on a different condition. Depending upon our script, using this conditional statement we can perform different actions. Conditional statement help a program. It help a program to decide which route to take based on how the condition evaluated. Conditional statements are evaluated as either true or false. It is a boolean. Here we have several conditional statements in PHP, and it is up to us, programmer to determine which approach to take in a given situation. Depending upon the situation, we will use this conditional statement. Actually, we have number of conditional statements in PHP. Based on upon our requirement, we have to choose best one. So we can say that conditional statements are used to perform different action. Means, I'll show you. Actually, we can consider mainly two types of conditional statements: if else one is if else statement. In previously also I showed you number of examples based on this if else statement. So in PHP commonly we use such kind of conditional statements. Another one is switch statement. By using this conditional statement, we can decide which route to take based on the condition evaluated. Suppose this if else statement, how this if else statements works means, just I will give on a basic idea how if else statements works. Suppose I have one variable called having 3. Okay, I'm writing one condition if and number equal to 3. Echo the if evaluates to true, else if it is doesn't equal to 3 means I have to perform this condition. False. So based on the example, if I run this example means it will display the output called the if statement evaluates to true. Means here number is nothing but 3, so 3 is equal to 3, so it written true. I already told you this conditional statements evaluated as either true or false. So if the condition is true means it will execute the if statement. If statement is in if condition, this part of the code it will execute. If the statement is false means this part of code will be executed here. So we can say that this conditional statements evaluates either true or false based upon the requirement. I mean, in widely we use such kind of conditions. So suppose when we writing one application means we have to write number of conditions. I mean, based on the conditions only um, we will calculate it. I mean, what to give or what not to give to the end user. So we can say that by using this conditional statement, the by using this conditional statement we can restrict. I mean, suppose I have one user, authorized user. If the user is authorized means I have to show some information to the user. If the else the user is not authorized means I have to show some other information. Suppose if you take any websites or anything means you can able to see content. If authorized user logs in means he can able to view some advanced features. If you log in like a guest means you have some restrictions. I mean, you can't able to view many options, because based upon these conditional operators such kind of stuff can be done. And in coming I will take one more session on this if else statement. I mean, I just give you an introduction how if else statements works, because this statement is very important. Not only the statement, switch statement is also important. Just I will give introduction on switch statement, and I will give brief introduction on switch statement in coming session also. So this is how if else statements works. If the user is authorized means I have to show some features. If his user is not authorized means I have to show some only few features. I mean, based on this if else statement we can perform that. And other condition is coming to switch. We can also say that this switch statement are used to perform a different action based on different condition. It is also same like a if else statement, but it has its own structure. Suppose this is about switch statement. I'm just giving introduction. So we can say the structure of syntax of switch statement is switch of n is nothing but any variable. Here suppose one n is nothing but a variable holding some value. I mean, we have to place in the braces parentheses of switch statement, and we have to write case. Suppose for example take it as label 1. I mean, if n is equal to label 1, suppose if this n is containing label 1 means it will check the condition label 1. It is checking whether the n contain label 1 means it will some code has to execute here. If n equal to label 1, we don't know actually. I mean, because let us assume that the variable n containing dynamic value which is coming from database, so we don't know what exactly n value contains. So by using these cases we can write the code. I mean, suppose if like if statement case label 1, if n equal to label 1 means some code has be executed like this, and break, and the code of execution will be stop here. And next case, if like if statement case, if n value is equal to label 2 means I have to perform if n equal to label 2. Like that we can write number of cases like label 3. If assume that if an label n equal to label 3 means I have to execute some code like that, and by default if it will be defaultly one code will be executed, code to be executed if n is different. I mean, if n is not comparable to the above cases means default statement will be executed. Both label 1 and label 2. This is the way of writing switch statement. Suppose if let us assume that n containing value of n containing should be $n, because in PHP every variable should be with $n equal to, let us assume that it containing label 2 means here we are passing that variable in switch and in cases. So here defaultly first of all it checks that case as label 1, so it will compare label 1 is not equal to label 2, so the statement will be break, I mean comes to the label 2, because here the condition is not satisfied. Now it will check whether the label 2 is equal to this value of $n label 2. Here the condition is satisfied, so defaultly here itself the condition will be break. Maybe if you have some cases like label 3, label 4, label 6 means if the condition satisfy means here itself the execution will take break and it will show the output. I mean, this is how actually switch statements works, and this is basic introduction on if else statement and switch statement. In coming session I will show you depth real time example on how if else statements works in real time and how switch statements works on real time. So this is the basic introduction on conditional statements. In coming session we can discuss about if else statement, and upcoming session we can discuss about switch statement. That's it for today. Thank you.